Hello nerds, this is the music section that has been taken from the main channel at Generally Nerdy here on the YouTubes, or you can go find it on Rumble or wherever else. This is the music section. It was taken from a much larger video that I like to call The Weekend Nerddom. That's available on the main channel. While you're here, don't forget to stick around afterwards because there's a lot of exclusive content on this channel that only exists here. So go check out some of that once you're done here. Either way, let's talk about the music news, shall we? Let's jump into the music section. In today's music section, we've got new music from Avenged Sevenfold, Wes Borland, and others. We're talking Dethklok tour, we're talking Bury Your Dead reunion shows, and honestly, a bunch of news stuff to talk about. So without any further ado, new music for this episode. First of the new music is Avenged Sevenfold's new song, Nobody. This comes from the recently announced Life Is But a Dream record. That album is out June 2nd. And man, this song is kind of Avenged Sevenfold's take on industrial metal, a la Queen. It's a very, this is very intriguing, and that's saying something because this is the first time that they've put out something that's intrigued my ear since Bat Country. I love early Avenged Sevenfold. I think there are very few records in the metalcore subgenre better than Waking the Fallen and Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Since then, they've kind of fallen off my radar in a lot of ways, though I am still aware that they are doing the thing. That's not to say this is a recommend necessarily. This is a tread cautiously. Then we have a new one from Buckcherry. That's right, the crazy bitch folk. Buckcherry put out a new song called Good Time. This is coming from a new record as well, Volume 10, also due out June 2nd. I think these guys just all right, so what's a cool phrase that's gonna be really easy to write a catchy riff around and then get played at college parties across the nation? Hey, let's have a good time. That's easy. Nothing new under the sun as far as Buckcherry is concerned. This is a catchy riff. They are really good at doing the catchy stuff with their rock and roll. And honestly, there's no soul here. There's nothing really to draw you in if you are like a deeper music aficionado. If you just want a good banger, then there you go. Next up is Fit for an Autopsy, and we're keeping with this whole new song, new record announcement thing. Fit for an Autopsy just released the new track, Hellions, that is coming from a three-way split record that they are doing. The other two bands on the three-way split are Thy Art Is Murder and Malevolence. It is coming out April 7th, and this first song, again, Hellions from Fit for an Autopsy, this is definitely deathcore at its greatest. There's a lot of good helping, I guess I should say, of new wave of American heavy metal in their sound. This harkens back, though, to the earlier days of Fit for an Autopsy, and I am definitely here for it. If you like stupid heavy music, the new Hellions track is just phenomenal. And we've talked about it. We talked about it actually in the live stream, and now I have actually listened to the new Wes Borland album. The name of the album is Mutiny on the Star Barge. It is a 9-track thing. I'm pretty sure Wes is on record describing this as an ambient album, and that's not what this is. I believe I also read that it was borderline cinematic music, and that I can kind of see. This is definitely exposing his Mr. Bungle influence pretty hardcore, and also I get this weird Ween kind of vibe from it. So if any of those bands sound familiar, if you have a strange thing about Wes Borland, like most music aficionados do anymore, as far as heavy metal and things, yeah, this is gonna be one you're gonna want to check out just for the spectacle. That's all the new music. Let's talk about tours and festivals. We've got some really exciting stuff going on in here. So first up, we have Dethklok has officially announced some live dates. It's not exactly what you're thinking though. So the band has been added to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival in September, as well as the Aftershock Festival in October. So they will be there. It is Brennan Small and company. I think Gene Hoglan is still sitting on the drums for him. And it's just gonna be awesome. There in the announcement, it sounds like there is a possibility we will be seeing a proper tour from Dethklok, so stay tuned for details on that. Otherwise, if you are getting tickets for Blue Ridge or Aftershock, now you just have even more reason. And if you weren't before, maybe you should reconsider that decision. Moving on to our next touring update, we have Machine Head has announced a tour. The name of the tour is the Electric Happy Hour Live Tour. It will kick off May 15th in Ventura, California, ends in Los Angeles on June 9th. There is a pre-sale you can get a part of 10 a.m. I believe on Friday, and the code word for the tour for the pre-sale tickets is electric, so go do that if you want to go see Machine Head. Then we have Clutch also announcing a new tour, which is pretty awesome. Back on the road, they're taking this time Dinosaur Jr. as well as Red Fang, which is such an interesting combination of bands. Like, I can see Clutch going on tour with either of those two bands, but those two bands together is definitely going to be, again, a spectacle. This one also has a pre-sale code, BBM Clutch 2023. That's right, but I'm just using the blabbermouth pre-sale. But yo, if you want to go see Clutch, it's definitely worth it. The tour is starting off July 21st in Washington, D.C., runs through August 5th in Denver, Colorado. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a trek, but that's usually how the dudes in Clutch do it. Then we have Bullet for My Valentine. We actually kind of talked about these guys previously in a tour updates because they are going on tour with Megadeth, but they have a shortish run before they join up with the dudes in Megadeth. It's going to be running from May 18th in Daytona Beach, Florida. Goes through May 28th, so 10-day trek in Detroit, Michigan. The band that they are taking on this short trek is From Ashes to New. Still haven't listened to these guys, judging by the name of the band, which I know is horrible of me, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to be said about the packaging, and I'm not a fan of the packaging. So I do kind of dig Bullet for My Valentine, so I am intrigued to see them live, but you know, it kind of is what it is. This is the second biggest announcement, I think, or actually maybe the third, because the Dethklok thing was pretty huge as well, but super excited either way. Bury Your Dead is doing reunion shows. That's awesome if you live in New York or Massachusetts, because 3 of the 4 shows are in New York, Brooklyn, Bronx, so on and so forth, and then they have 1 show in Worcester, Mass. So that sucks. But there is something super noteworthy about these reunion shows. In 3 of the 4 shows, they are bringing back the 2 previous vocalists for the band, those being Myke Terry and Joe Krewco. And for that 4th, actually the first of the 4 reunion shows, it is only going to be Joe Krewco. Myke Terry will not be a part of that first show. No exact reason was given, just kind of is what it is. The dates for these 4 shows are March 16, 17, 18, and 19. So again, if you live in the New York area or the Massachusetts area, then you're welcome, and I'm super damn jealous of you. But let's move along our next one. This is the other one that I'm super stoked about, and that is Unearth. Not just Unearth, but Unearth and Upon a Burning Body are going on tour together. They're taking out with them a band I've never heard of, 156 Silence. I don't really know who that is, but they're taking them on tour. It's actually kind of a lengthy tour. It was about 2 months. I, for whatever reason, don't have the exact dates, but I do have a link to the exact dates down in the show notes, so go check that out. Yeah, Unearth is just fan-freaking-tastic, so if they're coming near you, you like the heavy music, you're welcome once again. All right, so that's what we got for tours and festivals. Let's get into regular ass news. For music, we've got a piece from Metallica. So Metallica is doing weird things in their old age, and this isn't exactly a weird thing, but it's a pretty eclectic thing, I guess is a way to put that. But they just bought the majority interest in a vinyl record pressing company. This is the company that has pressed the vinyl for their, I believe, 5 of their records in recent history. The name of the company is Furnace Record Pressing, and yeah, I mean, what else are they going to do with all those millions of dollars just sitting in a bank somewhere? Lord knows if it's Lord knows it better not be Silicon Valley Bank, but that's a whole other piece of news that we're not going to get into. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Metallica pressing records for the fans, literally. Next, we have a piece from Slash. This is also musician doing things outside of music, kind of. The previous one was less so, this one more so, but Slash, the Guns N' Roses guitar player, if you don't know who the hell Slash is, has launched a movie production company with a couple of other similarly minded folk. The name of the company is called Berserkergang. They will focus primarily on horror. And yeah, this is just Slash saying, I wanted to make movies that I wanted to see because there's not a lot of those out there these days. So again, what else is he going to do with those millions that are just sitting in his bank account, right? Might as well put it to some work and make a few more and make the fan base happy at the same time, I would say. That is what we have for regular ass news, which leaves us with music suggestion for the week. This one's going to be a little bit different because it's not directly a music suggestion. Usually we talk about a new album that's come out or a classic album or just something that's really good that maybe got skipped by the community. And this time is a YouTube documentary put out by The Daily Wire. History and Culture is the name of the channel. Link in the description. Go watch this. Metalheads are, why metalheads are happier people. This is awesome. I mean, we've talked about a number of these studies in episodes previously, years ago. We have talked about studies like this previously, years ago, in different videos, and now it's just getting much more mainstream outlet attention, so that's awesome. Go check it out. Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick. I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.